One artist from this country painted a dog watching a wagon cross a stream. A portraitist from this country painted Mr. and Mrs. Andrews and Jonathan Buttall holding a hat. The setting of the Hay Wain and the Blue Boy is also home to a royal observatory built by Christopher Wren in this home of Constable in Gainsborough. For 10 points, name this country whose St. Paul's Cathedral was rebuilt after the 1666 Great Fire of London. And the answer is England. In one of this man's works, a path zigzags its way up to a roofed cave where a blue-caped Virgin Mary gazes at her son. This artist of mystic nativity painted an orange grove where Mercury pokes some clouds with his caduceus and a ghostly Zephyr turns Chloris into Flora. In another of his works, Zephyr blows a naked goddess to land on an enormous seashell. For 10 points, name this Italian painter of Primavera and the Birth of Venus. And the answer is Sandro Botticelli. A man wearing a gold chain places his hand on a statue in this artist's Aristotle with a bust of Homer. He showed 7 doctors watching a demonstration of how a cadaver's arm muscles work in the anatomy lesson of Dr. Nicholas Tulp. A girl with a chicken hanging from her belt appears in this artist's portrait of Captain Franz Bonning Koch's shooting company. For 10 points, name this Dutch artist who painted The Night Watch. And the answer is Rembrandt. He restored most of Bramante's plan for St. Peter's Basilica as its major architect, and one of his works contains a supposed self-portrait of him in St. Bartholomew's flayed skin. He carved his name into Mary's sash in his Pietà, and this artist of the Last Judgment sculpted a young, relaxed marble David. For 10 points, name this artist who painted the creation of Adam on the Sistine Chapel ceiling. And the answer is Michelangelo Buonarroti. This color names an artistic collective founded by Kandinsky. The front portion of The Girl with the Pearl Earrings head covering is this color, which appears along with white, red, and yellow in Mondrian's Broadway Boogie Woogie. Gainsborough painted a young boy dressed all in this color, and Picasso painted the old guitarist during a period named for this somber color. For 10 points, name the primary color that is neither red nor yellow. And the answer is blue. A barber pole sits in front of a row of businesses in this man's early Sunday morning. A small red teapot is on the table between 2 women at a restaurant in his chop suey. This artist of Automat painted an ad for 5-cent Philly cigars in another of his works. In that painting, 2 men and a woman are being served inside a well-lit, doorless diner. For 10 points, name this American painter of Nighthawks. And the answer is Edward Hopper. This artist painted his sister Sophie surrounded by grieving family members in Death in the Sick Room, one of his Frieze of Life paintings. The eruption of Krakatoa may have inspired the red sky in this artist's most famous work, which overlooks a harbor and focuses on a bald, twisted figure that holds its hands to its face and performs the title action. For 10 points, name this Norwegian artist who painted The Scream. And the answer is Edvard Munch. In St. Martin and the Beggar, El Greco shows the saint with one of these animals, and Donatello sculpted a monument featuring one of these animals, Gattamelata. In an Albrecht Dürer woodcut about the apocalypse, conquest, war, famine, and death ride on 4 of these animals. For 10 points, name these animals that Frederick Remington painted and sculpted with cowboys and Indians in works like Bronco Buster. And the answer is horses. In this painting, a building with half-drawn window shades and a cash register in the first floor display window stands across from the central location. Two silver canisters sit on a wood counter in this work, which features an advertisement for 5-cent fillies. Two men in dark hats and a woman in a red dress sit inside an entryless diner in, for 10 points, What Painting by Edward Hopper? And the answer is Nighthawks. On the right side of this painting is a red barn, and on the left, a green railing can be seen on the porch of the Dibble House, which the artist encountered in Iowa. One of the two central figures in this work wears a colonial apron, and the other wears overalls. The artist's sister and dentist modeled for 10 points, what Grant Wood painting in which a sad-looking woman and a farmer holding a pitchfork stand in front of a house? And the answer is American Gothic.